Hello everyone. Hi. Hope you guys can see me and hear me clearly. Hi Jyoti. Hi Nan. Am I audible, guys? Okay. So in this particular class, what we are going to do is we are going to discuss CAT 2019 Slot 2 Part 3. Part 1 and Part 2 I've already conducted on YouTube. So on my YouTube channel, you can find part 1 and part 2 where we discussed a few questions. The rest of the questions I'll try and pick them up today. For those of you who might be attending my class for the first time, my name is Ravi Handa. I have been teaching for CAT for close to 15 years now. I started initially at IMS, then I worked with Time and Career Launcher for a bit, and then I moved on and started my own website with the name handagafunda.com, through which I taught 20,000 plus students online. After that, I joined an academy, and now at an academy, I take a bunch of classes for free and paid on their channels on YouTube. This is a special class that I'm taking, and also a lot of other paid classes. For that information about which class is happening when, what the schedule is like, you can check out my Telegram group that is available at CAT Prep online. I've just pinned the link so you guys can get all the necessary and all the relevant information from there. Okay. As you know, an academy offers you two kinds of courses. One is the plus courses, the other one are the iconic courses. In the plus courses, you get live classes very similar to this one, or rather exactly like this one. But the main benefit is you get them in a structured way. A particular order is followed in these classes, which helps you prepare. Obviously, there are weekly tests and access to other teachers as well. And then there is the iconic plan. In the iconic plan, you get everything which is covered in these live classes and structured courses. Along with that, you get personalized guidance as well. And with this sort of guidance and everything, what happens is it helps you prepare. The benefit of this guidance is that you can do your test analysis with them, you can make up a study plan with them, and generally discuss, because these people are experts. These are people who have attempted the CAT before, and not just attempted, they have cracked the CAT before. A lot of these guys will be people who have graduated from one of the top IIMs or something like that, and that will help you figure out the right stuff. My recommendation, if you're targeting CAT 21, you need to go in for the 6-month plan, which is for 16,400. On the other hand, if you're targeting CAT 22, then my recommendation would be to go in for the 12-month plan, which is for 40,000. In both of these cases, you can use the coupon code HANDA, which will give you a 10% discount on both of these courses. I would like to add that the price points for these courses is going up by 10% on the 16th of September. And that should essentially help you plan and prepare better, because if you do it after 16th of September, you will unnecessarily have to pay this 10% extra. So if you're planning to register for any of the courses, my recommendation, my suggestion, please just do it before the 16th of September. So before I start with today's questions, in case you have any queries, anything that you want to ask about preparation or in general, please let me know. Otherwise, I will start off with the questions that I have on my hand. Should I go ahead? Okay, let's start. Let's start with this one. What do you guys think will be the answer for this? Looks like a ratios question, dealing with ratios and proportions. Let me do a poll. Okay. So if you guys have an answer for this, please use the poll and attempt. What do you guys think the answer for this one would be? How will you do it? Any ideas, any suggestions? How do you even start with this? Okay. Let me try and explain this. In an exam, Rama's score was 1/12 of the sum of the scores of Mohan and Anjali. Let's say their scores were R, M, and A. Now, Rama's score is 1/12 of Mohan plus Anjali, which means this 12 goes to the other side. 12R is M plus A. After the review, the score of each of them increased by 6. So Rama's score became R plus 6, Mohan's score became M plus 6, and Anjali's score became A plus 6. These were the new scores. And with these new scores, the revised scores of Anjali, Mohan, and Rama were in the ratio of 11:10:3. So these scores are in the ratio of 11:10:3. Now, what can I do with this? How do I proceed with this information, and how do I go ahead with this? Any suggestions? See, what you do is you assume this as 11K, you assume this as 10K, and you assume this as 3K, which means the value of R will be 11K minus 6, the value of M will be 10K minus 6, and the value of A will be 3K minus 6. These are the values that we will have. That being said, now I have R, M, and A, and I've converted all of them in terms of K. Once I've converted all of them in terms of K, I can put them in my original equation, which was 12R equal to M plus A. Let me put it in this one. So 12 times 11K minus 6 is equal to 10K minus 6 plus 3K minus 6, which is 132K minus 72 is equal to 13K minus 12, which gives me what? 129K equal to 60. Am I making a calculation mistake somewhere? So 129K, I've taken the ratio incorrect. 11, 10, and 3. Anjali, Mohan, and Rama. I'm sorry. So Anjali, Mohan, and Rama, I've completely messed it up. So R plus 6, M plus 6, A plus 6. And my ratio is Anjali is 11. Mohan is 10. And Rama is 3K. So this is the mistake that I made, which means R is 3K minus 6, Mohan is 10k minus 6 and A is 11k minus 6. Hi Yash. Now I will put this in my original equation, which is 12R equal to M plus A. So 12 times 3k minus 6 is equal to 10k minus 6 plus 11k minus 6, which is 36k minus 72 is equal to 21k minus 12, which gives me 15k equal to 60, or I get the value of k as 4. Once I get the value of k as 4, so 3k is 12, 10k is 40, and 11k is 44, which means their original scores were 6 less than this. So R is 6, 40 minus 6 is 34, 44 minus 6 is 38. These were my original scores. I am asked for the difference between Anjali and Rama's score. So that will be 38 minus 6 or 32. Thank you, Hayat, for pointing out I took the wrong ratio, but that's essentially how you solve this. Can I go to the next question? Let's try this one. The quadratic equation has two roots, 4a and 3a, where a is an integer. Let's keep that in mind. Which of the following values is a possible value for b square plus c? So we need a possible value for b square plus c. How do I get that? How do I get that? Let me do a poll and see if any of you can answer this. Please try this out. Yash is right, Yuvraj is right. Both of them have got the correct answer for this already. Good job, Yash and Yuvraj. For the others, how will you solve this? What's the process or what's the idea that you're going to use for a question like this? Any suggestions? Anish is absolutely right. We need to do sum and product of the roots. So for an equation, let's say a normal equation when you have ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0, and the roots are alpha and beta. In that case, sum of the roots, which is alpha plus beta, is given as minus b by a, and product of the roots, which is alpha beta, is given to you as c by a. Now let's assume that you have these values. Then in this particular question, I'm given that the roots are 4a and 3a, which means 4a plus 3a is minus b by a. My equation is x square plus bx plus c. So basically a is 1, b is b, and c is c. So 4a plus 3a is minus b, or b equal to minus 7a. Product of the roots, 4a into 3a is equal to c by a. So which means c is equal to 12a square. So I have the value of b, I have the value of c in terms of a, and we know that a is an integer. I'll keep that in mind, that a is an integer. Now, which of the following is a possible value of b square plus c? So what is b square plus c? B square is minus 7a whole square plus 12a square, which is 49a square plus 12a square, that is 61a square. Once I have the value as 61a square, what do I know? I know for a fact that a is an integer. That means my answer has to be 61 into something. Now, if I'll just look at 61 into 1, 61 into 4, 61 into 9, and so on. 61 into 1 is 61. Is that there in the options? No. 61 into 4 is 244. Is that there in the options? No. 61 into 9 is 549. Is that there in the options? Yes, it is there. So 549 comes out as my answer here. Are you guys okay with this? Let's try the next one. I'll assume you guys are okay with this. Okay, just a reminder that there are multiple batches that we are starting for CAT 22 and also another one for CAT 21. So this one is kind of a crash course batch, and this batch is with Arun Sharma sir. If you're planning to register for any of these courses, please go ahead and join at Unacademy, and you can use the coupon code HANDA, which will get you a 10% discount on these. Then there are the other batches which are starting from the 11th of September. Once again, specific batch for NMAT, another batch for CAT 22, and another revision sort of a batch where you can quickly revise stuff for CAT 21. So there are a large number of batches which are being launched. So please go ahead and join these batches. They'll help you prepare for CAT very well. Let's try out this question and tell me what the answer you get here. How will you start, or how will you go ahead with this? Any suggestions or ideas for this one? Looks simple enough. Should not be very complicated. Anish, Hayat, Yash, Yuvraj, would you like to give me any ideas or any suggestions as to how can I start with this? So we are given Amal invests 12,000 at 8% compounded annually and 10,000 at 6% compounded semi-annually. So let's try that. 12,000 at 8% will become 12,000 into 1.08. So 8 into 12 is 96. So this will be 12960. In this, my interest part is 960. Then he invests 10,000 at 6% compounded semi-annually. So if I'm investing 10,000 at 6% semi-annually, that is as good as investing at 3% twice a year. So 1.03 whole square. How much does that come out as? 1.03. So that will effectively be 103 whole square. If you think about it, because 1.10,000 into 1.03 is 103 whole square, and 103 whole square is 10609. I hope you guys know this technique. How to square numbers close to 100. Suppose you have to do 103 square or 94 square or any of these. What you do is 100 plus 2d, and then you do d square, where d is the distance from 100. So 103, what is the distance? 3. So 100 plus twice of 3, 106, d square 09. What is the distance of 94? Minus 6. So 100 minus 12 is 88, and then minus 6 whole square 36. So you can calculate the squares fairly quickly this way. Are you guys okay with this? Calculation of squares. 10609 and 8836. Same idea applied here. I got 10609. The interest in this case is 609. So what is the total interest? 1569 is the total interest that he has earned. Now what happens? So Mr. X made that wrong calculation that wanted me to show you this method. Bimal invests his money at 7.5% simple interest for 1 year. So he'll get 7.5% return. If Amal and Bimal get the same amount of interest, which means Amal got 1569, Bimal also got, so 7.5 by 100 of X is 1569. So what will be the value of X? That will be 156900 by 7.5. 15,000 by 7.5 is 20,000. So my answer will be 20,000 something. But because I do not have my options, I'll have to actually divide and see. And my answer comes out as 209. 20. Are you guys okay with this? Very easy question. Very easy question. As a matter of fact, all the 3 questions that we have done till now, they have been on the easier side if you compare with some of the other questions which came in CAT 2019. Now, that's the reason, I like to tell you that do not attend just this one class. To get the idea of how easy or how difficult a paper was, which questions you should have attempted, which questions you should have rejected, you can never figure that out just by attending one class. For that, what you need to do is you need to sit and attend all classes related to that particular slot. So as I was saying in the beginning of the class, this is part 3. Part 1 and part 2 are already done on YouTube. You can go ahead and watch the recordings of that to get a fair idea, to get a good idea of what all needs to be covered. Let's try out the next question. This one clearly deals with log. So tell me what's the answer you are going to get for this one. Let me try and do a poll for this. Okay. Here you go. Let's see if any of you can solve this in 60 seconds and give the right answer on the poll. How will you get the answer here, value here? What is the process? How will you start? What is the first thing that you are going to do to start with this question. Okay. So I'll use Anish's idea. Normally Anish comes up with good ideas. So Anish is saying I can take 2 to the power 3x as y. If I do that, what is 2 to the power 6x? 2 to the power 6x is 2 to the power 3x whole square. So that is y square. Then I have 2 to the power 3x plus 2, which is 2 to the power 3x into 2 square, which is y into 4, or this is 4y, which means my overall equation has now become y square as the first term plus 4y as the second term minus 21 is equal to 0. Now this is a quadratic equation. I'm sure you know how to solve a quadratic. You can rewrite this as y square plus 7y minus 3y minus 21 is equal to 0, or y plus 7 into y minus 3 is equal to 0, which gives me the value of y as minus 7 or 3. Now, y is 2 to the power of something. A positive number raised to any power will always be positive. It can never become negative, which means this cannot be the answer. So if this cannot be the answer, now I know 2 to the power 3x is 3. I'll take log on both sides. So 3x log 2 is log 3. Do I have that in the options? Oh, this should have been 3. I'm sorry, this should have been 3. So 3x is log 3 by log 2, which is log 3 to the base 2. So x comes out as log 3 to the base 2 divided by 3, which is given to me as option A. Are you guys okay with this? Let me know if I should go to the next question, if you guys are okay with this. Let's go ahead and try this one out. This is essentially a batch that I'm launching for CAT22 on my YouTube channel. Shruti will be helping me with this, and I'm covering number system in this on Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday at 6:30 p.m. So if you guys want to take part in this, more than welcome. Please come and try out these free classes on number system. But I'm going really slow in this because this is targeted at CAT22 students. I assume most of you are here for CAT21. Let us try this one out. This looks like a question on sequence and series. Let's see if you can get the answer here on sequence and series. Let me run a poll for this. Oh, okay. Yeah, so please try this out and tell me. Gaurav, I think, knows the answer for this. He very quickly gave the correct answer. Good job, Gaurav. Others can try this out as well. How will you get an answer for this? What kind of series these are? What sort of pattern do you observe in these? That's the idea you should be looking at. AP series, absolutely. So my series 1 is 15, 19, 23, 27, and this goes on till 415. My series 2 is 14, 19, 24, 29, and so on, and this goes on till 464. Now, I'm looking at common terms. Very clearly, the first common term is 19. The question is, what will be the next common term? And that is where, people get confused. That how do I find out the next common term and how do I find out the last term? So for that, let's look at it a little bit deeper. A value which occurs in the first series will be 15 plus a multiple of 3. A value which occurs in the second series is 14 plus a multiple of 5. Now it is very difficult for me to visualize that when both of them will be equal. When both of them will be equal, I cannot do that. I cannot, hypothetically think of values that which multiple of 3 of 15 will lead to this. It's a complicated problem. But instead of looking at it like this, I can also imagine that any term that will be common in these two series will come after 19, and after 19 plus a multiple of 3, in the second series after 19 it will be plus a multiple of 5. So my 19 base is fixed. Now I need to think of a term which is a multiple of 3 also and a multiple of 5 also, which means I essentially need to think of a term which is a multiple of 15. So 19 plus 15 is 34. So the next term in this series is going to be 34. After that, once again, in series 1, it will be 34 plus a multiple of 3. In series 2, it will be 34 plus a multiple of 5. So the gap is 4. Four, 5, 20. So it will be 19 plus 20, which is 39. The next one will be once again 39 plus a multiple of 4 and 39 plus a multiple of 5, which is once again 39 plus 20 or 59. So my series is going to be 19, 39, 59 and so on. What will be the last term in the series? If I notice, I am keeping on adding as 20, 20, 20. So my last term of this series, first of all, has to be lesser than 415 and 464. So the last term for the series 19, 29, 19, 39, 59, 79 in this particular series has to be less than 415. It has to be less than 464. So I can only consider 415 because if something is lesser than 415, automatically it is lesser than 464. So then 19 plus 20 times n should be lesser than 415. That means 20 times n should be lesser than 415 minus 19 is 396, which means n should be lesser than, this will come out as 19 point something something. This will come out as 19 point something something. And n is number of terms. So n is a natural number. That means n is 18. So my last term in the series will be 19 plus 20 into 18. So 360. Oh, sorry, n will be 19 so this comes out as 19 plus 20 into 19, 380 plus 19, 399. That will be my last term. What is the question? Number of common terms. So I've got my n is 19. So my total number of terms is going to be one more or 20 because 19 is also a part of the series. I'm adding 19 more terms to it. So the first term plus 19 more terms for the value of n that I have obtained, my total number will come out as 20. Are you guys okay with this? 20 as the answer. Okay, let us go ahead. Please try this one out. This one deals with polygons. And let me know the answer you get for this. How will you find this out? Regular polygon having A sides and B sides respectively such that B equal to A. Let's say, let's look at regular polygons fundamentally for a little bit. So a regular polygon is something which has sides as equal and angles as equal. Just angles equal is not good enough. Just sides equal is not good enough. Both the sides and the angles have to be equal. So in case of a triangle, there are three sides and each interior angle is 60 degrees. In case of four, you have a square and each interior angle is 90 degrees. Now, you might know or remember the formula for this. That's very good. But you may not know or remember the formula for an n-sided polygon. Even I don't know or remember the formula for an n-sided polygon. I'll tell you what I do. I remember the formula. I don't remember it for the interior, but I remember it for the exterior angle. For the exterior angle, it is 360 degree by n. Whatever is the total number of sides, you divide by that. So in case of a triangle, what is the exterior angle? 360 by 3 or 120, which gives me the value of the interior angle is 180 minus 120 as 60 degrees becomes my interior angle. In this case, it will be 360 by 4 into 90 degree, which is 90 degree, and then 180 minus 90 again gives me 90 degrees. So what will happen here? 180 minus 360 by n, which is 180n minus 360 by n. So this is effectively, if you think about it, 180 degrees, if I take as common, 180 into n minus 2 by n is the formula for the interior angle for a polygon. Once I have that, I'm given b equal to 2n. Each interior angle of b is 3 by 2 times each interior angle of a. So each interior angle of b is 180 times b minus 2 upon b is 3 by 2 times 180 times a minus 2 upon a. Are you guys okay with this equation? Interior angle for B I've taken, interior angle for A I've taken, and the interior angle of B is 3 by 2 times the interior angle for A. So let's calculate this. 180, 180 cancels. Then B is equal to 2A, so that cancels. So now I have B minus 2, so I can write B as 2A. So 2A minus 2 is 3A minus 6. If 2A minus 2 is 3A minus 6, A equal to 4. If A equal to 4, then B is twice of that, then B is 8. Now, what is the question asking? The question is asking for the interior angle for a polygon with A plus B sides. That means for a polygon with 12 sides. So let's use that. We have the formula. So the interior angle for a polygon with 12 sides will be 180 times 12 minus 2 upon 12. So 12 and 180 is 15. 15 into 10 comes out as 150. Are you guys okay with this value? 150 as the answer here. Hayat and others. Okay. Just a reminder, these special classes, they come up with a bunch of features as you can see them. I'm taking a few more special classes today, especially the one for GK. Very important if you're targeting other exams like SAT and IIFT. And then at 3:30 and 5, I'm taking classes for LRDI of the CAT 2020 paper. So that's also something which I believe will be really helpful for your preparation. So please do take part in that. You guys should be able to find the links for that from my profile. Please try this one out. 2 circles. How will you calculate this? And let me see if I can do a poll for this one as well. Okay, here you go. Tell me what the answer that you will get. How will you draw the third circle? If you can even tell me what is a good starting point for this, how will I draw the third circle? That itself should give you a bunch of ideas as to how you can proceed with this, how you can go ahead with this, and how you can get to the answer here. Let me know if you have any ideas or suggestions. Sir, how are you going to draw that? Third circle would be smaller, okay. So 2 circles, each of radius 4 centimeters. So let me first draw those 2 circles. Circle 1. I don't get an option to move, but just imagine that they are just touching externally. Now, they are touched externally by a third circle, and if all of these circles have a common tangent. So, suppose this is the common tangent. Now, how can you draw the third circle? This is the only way. something like this. This is what my third circle will look like. I think I'll draw a freehand. My circle would be slightly better. Okay. Now, the radius of the third circle is what I need to find out. I know the radius for the big circle is 4. So this is 4. This is 4. This is 8. And this is 8. That much I know. How do I find out the radius for the small circle? What can I do? What construction I can do? What values I can take? Leave only category, maybe Anish. I would agree with you that this is something that you should leave in the exam. But still, for understanding of concepts, what will you do now? Not challenging your claim of leaving the question in the exam. But what will you do after this? See, what you are going to do after this is join the centers. So my green line will be 4 plus R. Drop a perpendicular. R is left at the top. So this is 4 minus R. And this is 4. So now you can apply the Pythagoras. When you apply the Pythagoras, you will get 4 square plus 4 minus R square is equal to 4 plus R square, which is 16 plus 16 minus 8R plus R square is equal to 16 plus 8R plus R square. R square cancels. 16 cancels. 8R goes to the other side. So 16R comes out as 16, or the value of R that we are looking for comes out as 1. Are you guys okay with this? I agree, this visualization is difficult, not something that even I would attempt in the exam, but it is definitely a good concept, a good idea to know. Just a reminder, we have started mocks on the Unacademy channel, which are available for both Plus and Iconic subscriptions. You get 2 full-length mocks per week, and there are 3 sectional tests, one for LRDI, one for QA, and one for the RC that you can attempt. Let's try another question. Dealing with ratios, salaries of Ramesh, Ganesh, and Rajesh. This looks simple. Normally, I see a ratios question, I know that something will get cancelled and I'll get to the answer fairly quickly. Let's see if any of you can get to the answer in less than 60 seconds. Please use the poll and tell me what's the answer that you will get for this particular question. How will you solve this? How will you calculate this? Any ideas or suggestions for this? Should be pretty simple, pretty straightforward, should not take too much time and effort to solve this one. Someone has answered B. I do not know who has answered B, but that's the incorrect answer. B is not the answer for this one, but glad someone tried. Now, salaries of Ramesh, Ganesh, and Rajesh were 6, 5, and 7. Ramesh, Ganesh, okay. Ramesh and I hate this. They should give only names which start with a different letter. Life becomes relatively simpler. They are in the ratio of 6:5:7. in 2010 and in 2015, they are in the ratio of 3:4:3. Ramesh's salary increased by 25%. Then the percentage increase in Rajesh's salary is what I'm supposed to find out. What is the use of Ganesh's salary in this question? I don't think this is of any use. It's just given to confuse you people. So let's take some values and make my calculations a little bit easier. Let's say in 2010, salary of Ramesh was 600 rupees. It increased by 25%. So if it increased by 25%, it increased by 1/4 of the value. So it became 750 in 2015. Now, if Ramesh is 600, then Rajesh is 700. Because these two have to be in the ratio of 6:7. If the salary of Ramesh is 3, Rajesh is 3, that means if this is 750, salary of Rajesh should also be 750 because they are in the ratio of 1:1. So what is the salary of Rajesh? What is the growth in the salary of Rajesh? So salary of Rajesh has grown by 50 rupees on a base of 750 rupees. Sorry, on a base of 700 rupees into 100. So what is the growth? The growth is 50 by 7%, which is 7.14%. Now I don't have exactly 7.14 in the options, but I do have 7 in the options, and that is why I can say my answer here will be 7.14%. Are you guys okay with this? I hope you are. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward question. Just a reminder that in case you get any doubts on for the enrolled students on Unacademy, there is a Ask a Doubt feature where you can click a picture and send it to us, and we will clarify it to you. Now, if you are actually, I think this was the last question we had for today, but just to give you a brief recap, there were a total of 34 questions which were asked in CAT 2019. Out of those 34 questions, I've discussed 8, 8 and 8 till now in part 1, part 2. These two classes already took place on YouTube. This 8, I think we have discussed 8 questions today as a part of part 3. I will be taking part 4 in which I will be discussing the remaining 10 questions at 12 noon tomorrow, which is Thursday, on my YouTube channel, which is CAT Funda. If you want to get the link for it and the updates for all of these classes, I would request you to please join my Telegram group. The link for the Telegram group is given above. And if you guys want me to continue to take all of these classes, I would sincerely request you to please provide positive feedback at the end of this class. And on that note, I would like to end today's class. Hope you guys liked it, and hopefully I'll see you in the LRDI classes that I have today at 3:30 and 5:30, and in the GK class that I have. Let me give you the schedule for that also. Yeah. So this is the schedule for the other classes that I'm taking today, 3:30 and 5:30 for LR and DI, and 7 p.m. for the GK class. Hope you guys will join me there as well. Bye everyone. Bye Anish. Bye Gaurav. Bye Mr. X. See you guys soon.